Hey, well, it's my pleasure to welcome you this morning alongside the official welcomes. I just want to acknowledge Fran, of course, our dignitaries here, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Trade, and others as well. It's always a pleasure working with you, Fran. From my perspective, really just to note a couple of things I think are going to be fascinating today. I think the first is, there's I think an American phrase that you campaign in poetry and you govern in prose. And now that Prime Minister, who we'll hear from very shortly, the Deputy Prime Minister, Trade Minister are in power, what's that really mean? We know we're in a world of deep trouble and uncertainty, whether it's geopolitically, whether it's economically, actually. And so how do they see that? How do they see it playing out? And how do they react to that? So I think that will be fascinating. Secondly, of course, is what it means for us in the business community. How can we accelerate momentum, as the catchphrase of this summit says. In addition to a new government, and that in itself, I suppose, would be enough, but we have some real VVIPs here, thanks to Air New Zealand coming in from the States, and also, of course, significant New Zealand business people on the panels. And so I think it'll be very interesting to get a sense of their take, their read, and again, what that means for us at this time. And finally, I note that we've already heard it, so I don't mind saying it again. If that's not enough from you, I think that business class for two trip to New York is pretty good odds, actually, if you stick around. And I'm just disappointed. I'm probably conflicted out from taking it if I'm here. But I think it's going to be a fascinating conference, and we'll get a lot of insight out of it. Over to you, Fran.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, and also Todd McClay. A bit of a forward and perhaps somewhat cheeky move on our part. We had Todd in as Trade Minister Designate in the program before, and in fact anyone had said he was Trade Minister Designate. So we were very happy when you were confirmed, and also to have you and Minister Peters both here today. And I appreciate that there are issues in Wellington, and you've got a massive induction process going, and you really want to get going with your agenda. But it is an honour that you have taken time to come here today and to address us, and we look forward to that. And also, Todd, to you staying for a great deal of the day and taking the opportunity to network and hear the concerns and opportunities put forward by some of our speakers. I want to thank all of you for coming, and I also want to acknowledge the tremendous contribution by Dame Therese Walsh and also Greg Foran. As you all know, a number of us went to New York City last year as part of a reconnection, I guess, after several years of lockdowns, and been kind of in a giant MIQ facility called New Zealand, which is what it felt like to me. And it was just fascinating to get up there and see the level of ambition creeping back in the United States. And we met some fabulous speakers, and Ingenuity in particular, who has brought together her friends and a delegation of stellar people, and we've been very lucky enough that Air New Zealand is also sharing them with us today. And so we thank you for that, and we look forward to their participation in the conference. One or two of us did have the opportunity to hear from them yesterday. If you're thinking about getting your swagger on, getting focused as a nation, it's just spellbinding, frankly, to listen to that. But the other thing also is these are people with massive commercial experience, and we expect to hear some of that today as well. I do want to acknowledge some other people in the room. Pania Tyson-Nathan. Pania is an unseen person sometimes behind things, and has played a great role also in thinking about our guests and also what might be presented to them as gifts from New Zealand. And we thank you for that, Pania. It's just so tremendous. And also Tracy Hopapa. Thank you, Tracy, for coming up. And also, obviously, our key speakers like Miles Hurrell. Really looking forward to hearing from you. Through the day, we'll probably hear a little bit about again, why we don't have an FTA with the United States, but I think it's fair to say in the preparation for this meeting, we're actually doing quite well, and we'll hear through the day some of the metrics around that as well.